You're with Chase Briscoe, Netflix, Full Speed Season 2. You're one of the stars right out of the gate. You're Joe Gibbs Racing now. Legendary football coach, 3-time Super Bowl champ. How's it feel to work with him?
Yeah, it's honestly mind-blowing. I've obviously raced against them from a distance before and always saw how successful they were, but never really knew why, truthfully. And now being kind of, inside the walls there, just seeing, how coach is, and there's a reason that he's successful everywhere he goes, whether it's football coaching and now obviously running the race team. It starts at the top.
Break down why people should tune into Netflix for Full Speed.
Yeah, I think it gives a great behind-the-scenes look, right? Just like all the other stuff, between full swing and receiver and quarterback. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people just think we just show up at the racetrack, right, and race on the weekend. But there's so much going on behind the scenes, and just our part of it, right? Navigating, twins literally being delivered in the middle of the playoffs and trying to navigate, well, now I can't be there potentially. So there's all that storyline, but then you have the storyline of the playoffs itself. It's going to be an exciting one. I'm honored to be a part of it, just a small part of it. But it's definitely cool for our sport to be on such a big stage like Netflix.
Now, we all want to go fast. You go fast for a living. How many speeding tickets have you gotten?
Oh, gosh. I think only 5 or 6. I've been pretty good. I recently became pretty good buddies with the state trooper, so that's bailed me out of already 2 or 3 where I live now. But yeah, I want to say I've probably got 5 or 6 on the board.
Don't you think that they should give like NASCAR drivers like a little thing on their license saying, I'm a race car driver?
Man, it'd be nice. I've actually got pulled over leaving the racetrack before and got a ticket. I thought for sure I was going to get out of it because I wasn't even 20 minutes from the racetrack. I figured the guy at least would maybe recognize hey, he's a race car driver. I was in all my sponsor stuff. He did not care. I got busted for 83 and a 55 that day. That was a big one.
What's the fastest you've ever gone?
Fastest I've ever gone has got to be right around 215, 220, somewhere in that range. Yeah, I would say plus 215 up for sure.
Now, we're Sports Illustrated. What's your favorite sports memory? Who'd you grow up a fan of? What's been the highlight of your sports fandom?
Yeah, so obviously I grew up a diehard Tony Stewart fan. So the coolest thing for me is full circle getting to literally drive the car that Tony Stewart drove in the 14. But as a kid, I still, to this day, I'm a huge Indianapolis Colts fan. Obviously, the Pacers, they're really good right now. Anything Indiana-based. So I would say growing up as a kid, the Colts Super Bowl run was pretty impressive. And just when, Peyton was really good, we're not very good right now, but we were good for a couple of years there with Peyton, Edgerrin James, and Marvin Harrison and all the guys. So I'd say growing up watching them, that's probably one of my favorite sports moments is just when the Colts were actually really good.
Do you have a favorite racetrack that when you're there, it means more to you than any other?
Yeah, for me, it would be Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Every race car driver, dreams of getting to race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's like a baseball player, right? They always want to play at Wrigley or, Fenway Park. It's just one of those iconic places. But when you grow up in Indiana, it's a whole nother story. I grew up going to that racetrack as a kid, dreaming of getting to race there. And for me, that's always a special weekend, just for one, the history that's there, but also that's the one time a year I get to race in front of all my family, my friends, all the fans. The Hoosier State especially is so good about getting behind a fellow Hoosier driver, and you definitely feel it as an Indiana native for sure.
Full Speed Season 2, May 7th on Netflix. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.